A city is a collection of communities, and no city has quite the collection as New York City.
Damn right.
Each neighborhood, a pocket, and in those pockets are thousands of groups bound by a place, by an activity, or by a collective. You all love this city, but you know its problems all too well. The quiet violence of capital takes root around many corners and takes many forms. And from these wounds, violent demons emerge to prey upon the very victims of that capital. But you three are radicals. You know the truth. The best way to defeat a demon is to destroy capital. The best way to fight back is to get mad as hell.
Yeah, mad.
Mad. Welcome to Mad as Hell.
Woo! Hello.
As we fly over the city of New York and we move down into a sun-drenched and active, full of people on one of those hot spring days when the sun has come out, Maria Hernandez Park in Bushwick, the sun is beginning to set, and running by this park is the members of Les Miserables. Francis.
So good still.
What does this group look like and how many of you are there? And could you please describe Francis for us?
I sure can. Francis Fox. She runs a free running club aid network called Les Miserables. And it's a real ragtag group. We welcome runners of all levels. We've got people of all ages and paces, and it's just a real, whoever wants to come join and do a little good in the world. Frances herself is about 53. She has that sort of long-distance runner's bod where she's just long and lean and super spindly. She's got 90s boy hair like Eric Matthews.
Like Eric Matthews.
From Boy Meets World.
Peak 90s.
Peak 90s. And also would like to add that she runs everywhere and somehow her hair still always looks gorgeous, never looks matted down with sweat. She's got skills.
Some thick product in there.
There might be product in there. Who's to say? She'll never tell her secret. And she is leading a pretty small group, I think, through the park this time. It's some of the newer folks who are still getting their footing, and she likes to do individual sort of new runs for people who are thinking about joining and want to learn a little bit more so they can get some more one-on-one time and build their footing within the group.
You've got on this run, you've got an older woman, Camilla, that is running alongside you, and she's having a little bit of trouble. What do you kind of say to get her to kind of keep going, encourage her along?
Oh, hey, Camilla, girl, you're doing great. What are you thinking about on this run?
My legs.
I hate you.
Your legs?
Yeah.
Well, are you thinking about how grateful you are that you get to do this in this beautiful park? I mean, look at that sunset.
I guess.
It's going to be great. You're doing something not only good for yourself, but good for the community. Because people see us coming out here and they love to join in, cheer. It makes people think they could do something. And also, importantly, our group delivers aid to those who need it. You're making great strides today, Camilla, both inside and out.
Could you make a solidarity check for me?
Yes, I can. Do I roll 2d6?
Yes, roll 2d6 and add your solidarity for me.
My solidarity is 1. And
Nice.
I'm rolling spicy dice today. I tested
Spicy.
them.
Spicy dicey.
Ooh, that's a 1, a 3, and then I add a 1, so that's just a 5.
Camilla does not get your message, keeps just like looking at the ground and like subtly sort of slows down to get next to somebody other than you because she's not into the conversation, but she's still with the group. She's still running.
She's still running, which I consider a success.
She's going to be coming back when there's a different lead for the group.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fair. Francis can be a bit much sometimes.
The legs push on and embrace this collective runner's high and community energy as they near the end of their run on their way to their weekly meeting. Minutia,
Hello.
you were supposed to be on this run,
Yeah.
but you're late.
Yeah.
We move over to Flushing Avenue. You are weaving through traffic on your motorcycle, potentially with some other members of the Daughters of Island, maybe alone. Could you describe Minutia for us and tell us like what your bike looks like and if you're with anybody else?
Yeah. Manuja is tall, skinny, man, brown skin, wearing like chinos with like some like just regular Nike running shoes and like dress socks with it. Button-down shirt, like open, like one button on the collar open, and like some glasses. And then Manuja's on the bike, and like over that is like wearing like a leather jacket for protection and a helmet because that is sensible.
That's smart.
But like
Always wear a
visor over
helmet.
the glasses. Yeah, always wear a helmet when you're out there.
You're weaving through this traffic, and you see that a big delivery truck with a smile on it sort of goes to cut you off. Could you roll a militancy check for me?
Oh, big time I can.
Fucking big time, bro.
Rolled a 13.
13.
Holy
That is
shit.
a success. How do you skirt around this this delivery truck? And do you do anything else other than skirt around?
I do that cool thing, you know, when you watch like action movies and like the motorcycle go like you turn it and then like kind of like
You lay it on its side.
you lay on its side and you go right under the truck. That's exactly what Manuja does. And as he's doing, he's like, "You fucking jerk off! I'm gonna fucking kill you later."
That's
New
some
York,
good old
baby.
fashioned New York road rage for you.
You're a fucking moron. Learn how to drive. Go to Connecticut, you dickhead.
I think with the 13 militancy, the driver just breaks the mirror himself. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh God. We pull out from there and we head to a little corner street a few blocks away where there sits a cafe. And an owner is preparing the space for an incoming meeting of Legs Miserables. Chester, could you please describe yourself and tell us a bit about Cafe Annie, this place that you own?
Yeah, I'm Chester Charles, kind of like dad bod type guy, wearing like very light Levi 501s, a like kind of oversized dress shirt that's it got a button like almost one too low. It's depending on the light, it's either one too low or just right. But very like free flowing and moving through this cafe that he's at every single day. And you see around this Cafe Annie, it is full of like knickknacks and tchotchkes on the wall, lots of like mementos from the community of like, there is a local paper that is sold essentially just out of this cafe that is for the immediate neighborhood. It's like a 4-block radius of a neighborhood that's printed in the basement and is like given out to the customers. And headlines from that paper are like plastered all over the walls, like this kind of paper mache all over the walls. And then there are a bunch of like big tables. There are very few small tables in Cafe Annie. It's a lot of like very communal tables that force people to like get to know each other.
Nice.
And Chester is very apt to go over to people who are sitting at a table together but not talking and quickly introduce them and be like, "Hey, so just so you know, this is Paul and this is Jasmine, and you guys have both been coming here. You like oat milk, you like soy milk. Here's just a whole fucking thing." But he's currently prepping for a couple of meetings that are coming in, including the free runners.
As you're sort of setting it up, you see that like a couple people have arrived early, and they have sat at opposite tables. Like they're the first couple people in for these meetings, and they've sat as far away in the store as they can.
I immediately go up to one with a glass of water and deliberately spill it on one table and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry." And I wipe it up and go, "Here," I literally pick the person up by the arm. Like, "Here, let me show you to a new table." There are no other tables full. There are no other tables with anybody at them. And I sit them directly at the at the table across from the other person who's like reading a book.
Could you make me a conspiracy check?
Absolutely. Can I roll with the upper hand because it's my establishment?
Sure. I'm glad we're starting early.
Oh, Brian.
Ooh,
Jeez.
I rolled 3 3s So taking the top two. Oh no, it's 9. I'm thinking Orbital Blues. I got 6 plus 2 is 8. So I'm 1 short of the 9 I need.
That's so funny.
Oh, you
It's real
push
close.
them. You push them together, and they're at the table. But the young guy who has like kind of gelled up hair and is wearing like a band tee immediately sort of does one of these like turn to the side and just check his phone to avoid talking to the woman that you sat across from him. Maybe they'll get it, later tonight when the meeting starts getting going. But for now, they're not picking up what you're dropping.
They'll start talking once there's like 3 or 4 other people there. I've seen these people before. I've seen this type of person before. They don't want to be the only people talking. As long as there's a group of 3, they're fine.
You keep setting up as people start to shuffle in, and outside, Manuja and Francis arrive along with the rest of Legs Miserable right at 7 p.m., just in time for the weekly Legs mutual aid meeting. And a question for the whole class, the whole group here. What is the community painted mural outside of Cafe Annie? What does it depict?
Oh.
This is in Bushwick.
It's in Bushwick.
It's a mural of Staten Island.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
It's the daughters of Ireland riding all over Staten Island.
Yeah, riding a ferry on Staten Island.
Oh, God. Shenig. Any added details, Brian? Or Chester or Francis?
I think there's kind of 2 parts to the mural. There's a large Staten Island part that was clearly made. That was the original mural. There's been an addition to the mural that's in like a similar style but not quite as good. That is the Daughters of Ireland in like Bushwick linking hands or like forming a motorcycle chain with the Staten Island group, like connecting the two across the Verrazano Bridge.
Yeah, and at the top it says the Daughters of Ireland, all races and genders welcome. And then with the addition of the Bushwick chapter says, and religions.
Yeah.
And then I think that in chalk, so that it can wash off and isn't a permanent addition, various members of the running club like to trace routes that they've done through Staten Island on the Staten Island part of it.
Hell yeah.
There we go. It's like one of those like cartoony maps where it is a real map, but then also there's like just giant landmarks blasted on top of it.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't follow any sort of measurement scale. It was someone eyeballed it, and it's cool looking, but yeah. So people draw with chalk, just like a route.
Why don't we all name one landmark on the map?
Why don't we?
Oh,
He's too happy.
The sun continues to set as people shuffle in, and Cafe Annie is abuzz with members of Legs Miserable, a few of the Daughters of Ireland who have come to the meeting, as well as just some neighbors from around the community who like to come by Cafe Annie for these meetings. This is for the other half of Legs Miserable's club, the mutual aid distribution. It's an opportunity for them to bring problems to the group, to hear from their neighbors, and to just build community and hang out after a good run while they're all sweaty and kind of have that smell of like a group of runners when they go into a bar and you end up in the same bar as them.
I don't know what
Just
you're talking
me?
about.
No,
we smell great.
Never mind.
Just you.
So everybody's milling about, they're chatting, and then after, the first few minutes of just chit-chatting, oh, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Letty, who is one of the member of Legs Miserable, steps up to kind of lead the meeting. And she starts running through an agenda of mutual aid distribution around the neighborhood, asking for volunteers to run food, clothing, medical supplies. She discusses what the organization needs, what the neighborhood needs, and then opens it up to the cafe for kind of concerns from the neighbor, any kind of thoughts that people have.
This isn't an in-game concern, but I just want to point out for the listeners that I can name landmarks on Staten Island in case.
Oh, you didn't let that go.
No.
Oh, we weren't gonna
I just wasn't
pass
immediately
that.
clear that I could do it. I just want to make sure people know that I can do it.
There's a big landfill that's now a park, right?
Yes.
Yeah, name that park, Brian.
It's something Kills.
Something with an F.
Fresh kills.
Fresh kills.
Yes.
See, I was
Fresh kills.
90% of the way there.
Nice.
All right.
We love Staten Island.
The number one landmark on Staten Island is a landfill.
Woo!
Not anymore.
It's turned into a park. You just said so.
Letty opens it up to the group for concern, and Josefina, an older woman, steps up who runs the community garden nearby, and she steps up and gets kind of serious and addresses the crowd more than addressing Letty and says, has anyone heard from Danny, the young kid who moved into the bird building on Jefferson about a month ago?
Oh, Danny.
At the sound of the bird building, the words the bird building, the room has sort of a quiet, hushed reverberation around it. The bird building, known as such because it has some street art on the front of it depicting a large, haggard bird opening its mouth as if it is waiting to be fed by an even larger bird. The building, though, is got a reputation because it is owned by Richard Stone, one of the shittiest landlords in New York City, known for pushing out rent-stabilized tenants, leaving problems unsolved for weeks and months across the 4 buildings he owns in the area.
Bastard.
She continues on. After what happened with Joe last year, I just worry about folks living there, and Danny had come by the garden and he was talking about volunteering, and I just haven't seen him all week. Has anybody seen him?
No, I haven't seen Danny in, a couple of days now. He usually comes in, gets an iced tea, reads a book for a little while.
Yeah, Chester, you would definitely know Danny. And yeah, you haven't seen him. You haven't seen him for a bit.
I think I am also super aware of the bird building and all the stuff going on there because I print out our neighborhood newsletter.
Yeah.
So there's that's been a thing that is in there a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Richard Stone is a name you definitely recognize from people have tried to report him to the city in the past, and he still just seems to be able to kind of own these buildings and abuse the tenants. You also heard her mention this name Joe and what happened to Joe last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Joe was kind of a fixture of the community, a fixture of Cafe Annie, and sort of like a grandmother figure to the whole neighborhood. She lived in the bird building for 32 years.
Whoa.
Before last fall, she was found dead in her bathtub.
Ooh.
Oh. Joe.
The cops investigated. They ruled it a tragic accident and unsurprising given her age. But the death has never quite sat right with the community. It's also never quite sat right with the 3 of you, as you all are aware of a thing about problems like this, that not only do they cause the quiet violence that kills people slowly, sometimes it means that there is a demon that has manifested around this problem. Maybe that's what's going on, maybe not. Probably is, because we're playing this game.
I think up on the wall there is a small, not shrine, but collection of articles and pictures in memoriam to Joe. And also nearby that, there is another section that I think is familiar to the 3 of us and maybe less obvious to other people, of headlines with stars next to them that are previous times we've found these larger problems, these demons that are cropping up.
Absolutely.
Josefina, do you think there's any chance Danny went home to see family or to visit a friend or something?
No, I mean, he told me about this new job he was really excited about in the city. It seemed like he had moved from kind of far away. I didn't expect him to. I wouldn't think he would turn around. And also, he kind of committed to some volunteer shifts at the garden, and he seemed like a really committed kid. It didn't strike me that he would just skip out on it.
Manuja raises his hand.
Letty sort of points at you. Go ahead, Manuja.
Do you have a picture of Danny?
Chester points to the wall and goes, "This is Danny right here. I mean, this is a year old, and he's a little sweaty from the tennis tournament, but..."
Yeah, Manuja goes over, looks at the picture, and goes, "Oh, Danny! Yeah! That's my neighbor, totally. I have not seen him in a week."
Yes, you know Danny.
Yeah, he lives right next door.
Manuja, would you maybe go check on him, or go kind of check out what's going on? Maybe bring some folks with you, because I know Stone likes to call the cops on trespassers like that. So be careful around the bird building. But Maybe just go
I
check
mean,
out.
I'm a tenant at the Bird Building, so I can.
Oh, you live in the Bird
party
Building.
at my place.
Of course,
folks.
of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've been meaning to check in on some Run Club members there who missed out on last week's run, so I can come with you.
Yeah. Okay, Francis, you can come.
Manusha, I'm gonna get you to a run. I'm gonna get you to a run.
Manusha, you should just do. I did it. I thought I was going to hold out too. I did. I thought I'm not a runner. I'm a biker.
We do a run walk for those who feel more comfortable with that.
Listen, I'm part of a motorbike gang. I'm not opposed to cults. I just don't want to be in yours.
Cool. That's funny. You're classic, Manusha.
Yep. All right, let's go, friends.
The meeting sort of carries on. A number of other smaller issues are brought up, and at close, Francis and Manusha, you hang back to grab Chester. Chester, I assume you agree to go with them to help out.
Thanks again, Chester, for I know you do it every time, but hosting these meetings, we really appreciate it. You're a real boon to this community.
Yeah, thank you. You gotta do a little bit here and there.
The Daughters of Ireland, inclusive of all genders, races, and sometimes religion, are quite respected by the Daughters of Ireland, inclusive of all races and gender.
End of sentence.
What a sentence it is.
It's, community is important at bridging those gaps even when there's differences.
I just want to point out, we really accept anyone, including religions. We just don't put that in the title.
Right.
The title got too long. It was a problem. When you started the Staten Island chapter, the embroidery would have cost $20 more per patch.
So much money.
It was a budgetary choice.
You look at the leather jacket Manusha's wearing, and it is, if they included religions too, it would have been a mess.
They decided, you know what, just do an ellipsis. People will fill in the blanks.
Right.
When they did the Bushwick chapter, the jackets just now have a long initialism on there instead of...
Thank you so much for saying initialism instead of acronym, which it would not be. And I would have been very pedantic about it.
What's crazy, Brian, is that I did it so you wouldn't be pedantic about it, and yet you did it
And
anyway.
you still were.
which is excellent. You guys close up shop at Cafe Annie, and you take the, approximately 5-10 minute walk to the Bird Building. The sun has now kind of fully gone below the skyline of Manhattan in the distance. And the Bird Building is like many pre-war buildings in Brooklyn. It's got this sort of classic weathered old brick front, New York City fire escapes dotting up the front of it. And in the low sapphire light of this evening, the street lights coming on, the lighting on this big open bird mouth takes on sort of a hungering quality, as if it might just swallow the building whole. But it's just a drawing. It's just a drawing.
The way you say that makes me think it's gonna maybe not be a drawing.
That mural. I just want someone to come in and paint that big mama bird, where I ache for that hungry bird.
I think we could call this building the baby bird building, and that building the mama bird building, and that would be fun.
Oh, Chester.
That's pretty good.
You kind of see as you approach that there's a little part of the front of this building where there's a little, like a short waist height wall where Joe used to always sit and would kind of, say hello to passersby and just sort of sit and enjoy the sun. There's like a little bit of a little rosary that people have left behind for her, which feels in horribly shitty contrast to the hostile architecture that Richard Stone has installed on this bench, like adding spikes so people can't sit there the way that Joe used to. You also see next to the door, there's a crooked sign that says, "Smile, you're on camera." How would you guys like to approach this problem? I mean, Manusha, obviously you are a tenant, so if you want to just go at it with entry, that's chill by me.
Opposed to breaking in?
As opposed to just like, I don't know if you want to do anything before you go in or anything like that. Like, just like, are we just going in? What's the plan of investigation checking on Danny here?
I think Frances, she's got open access. She's just always got internet, and she's shockingly savvy with tech. And I think she's gonna open up her phone and just try to do a quick search on Danny and like look at his socials or this new job, like where was this new job? Just try to do in the way that young women are particularly good at internet stalking the dates they find on apps. Frances has learned a lot from the younger members of the running community.
And she uses
Great.
it exclusively to see if people are keeping up with their running.
Yeah. Look, everyone's got their own running thing. She doesn't force it on you, but she just likes to know where you're at.
Go ahead and give me a, let's call it a conspiracy roll, and you can do it with the upper hand since you're using this open access.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, so that's 6 and 5, which is 11, but plus 2, so that's a 13.
That is well over 9. That is a success. So what is the specific questions you're looking to have answered about Danny? You want to see his socials, what the job was?
Mostly I'm curious, like, what this new job was that he had gotten, and then, like, she's doing, like, a cursory pass through socials just to make sure it's something like was there a friend's wedding that he forgot to mention, or just anything that might suggest like an emergency last minute trip out of town for some reason.
Sure. You are able to, you find his LinkedIn, and you're able to see that he had recently started a job as a paralegal for a public defender. And you see that, and Chester, you kind of remember that Danny had talked to you about how he wanted to be a public defender. So he was getting this job as a paralegal so that he could go to law school and kind of become that eventually. You also find his Instagram, where you are able to determine with classic Instagram stalking that he does not have a partner. He's relatively new to the city, so it doesn't seem like it's like an obvious friend group. And he is not a regular poster. So it's kind of, but his story doesn't have anything. There's like, it's unclear. There's no obvious indication that he would be out of town. But you do, I think, clearly understand that, like, since being in New York, like, tagged photos, like, no partner, no friend, nothing in the last, couple weeks.
Okay.
I think let's get on there and knock on the door, see how he's doing. I brought an iced tea for him just in case.
I opened the door with my keys that I have because I'm a tenant.
Because you're a tenant?
Yeah.
You say it again, I'll believe you.
What floor do you live on, Manuja?
I live on the 4th floor.
4th floor, top floor of this walk up. Yeah.
Yeah, top floor. And as we go up each floor, we like pass the other doors to get to mine, obviously. And as I pass Joe's door, old door, I take out a hard-boiled egg, put it on what used to be her welcome mat, and then just pat it there, and then keep going up.
Joe would have loved that.
She loved hard-boiled eggs.
Joe loved hard-boiled eggs.
Loved him.
I think Chester is like, the first thought is, I'm touched by this gesture that you clearly do all the time, because there's like a stain in the welcome mat. But it also like,
there are a bunch of eggs on the welcome mat.
This is unhinged behavior. You are a bad neighbor.
Hey, free eggs.
Let me be clear. An egg left on a welcome mat is not a free egg.
Is it still in the shell, or have you peeled it?
No, that doesn't matter.
It does. Because one is a wrapped candy bar and one is a loose candy bar.
It's still in the shell.
Okay, there you go.
One is a wrapped egg, one's an unwrapped egg. We don't need to make candy bar illusions.
Also, if someone left a wrapped Snickers bar on my welcome mat, I would still throw it out.
As you guys are moving through this building, could you all give me observation rolls?
Ooh, and we don't get to add
Observation
anything to that,
checks. Right? Yeah, that is 2d6, no add. And you, observation checks succeed on an 8. It's the only roll that is slightly easier.
Interesting.
7 for me, so nothing.
I rolled an 8, exactly.
And I rolled a 9. Look at us.
Chester, you're really thinking about that, these several rotting boiled eggs, and you're like, who's removing them? Where are the other eggs? Why isn't the smell worse? What's going, like, none of this quite checks out.
Yeah.
Manuja and Francis, you're walking up the stairs, and Manuja, these are sounds that you are just kind of used to in this building by now. You know the bird building sucks. You know that Richard Stone rarely sends the super to fix leaks. You see that there's water damage kind of in the corners of the floors. There's a window that has a big crack in it that has not been replaced. And there's this sound, Francis, that is grating on you of a drip, drip, drip. Just a consistent, occasional dripping. And then the very occasional clanging of a radiator, which is bizarre because it's spring. It was a beautiful day outside. Maybe this landlord doesn't check on when to turn the heat on or off. Maybe he's trying to extort people for heat money. Who knows? But there's this radiator clanging and this drip, drip, drip as you ascend the floors.
Such a waste of water. So bad for the environment. I would think his environmental... I know he sucks. But just, that leak has got to be costing him money, too. No, Manusia?
No, we pay for water here.
You pay for water utilities?
I think that's illegal. I mean, I knew Richard was bad, but I think that's just straight up illegal, Manusia.
Yeah, probably. This guy sucks.
I know that we don't like to talk to him unless we have to, but my brother is, he could advise the tenants. He provides legal advice sometimes for various people in the community. He's a partner at DeWitt Postal and Owl.
What were you looking at in our house that got you
what?
to DeWitt Poster and Owl?
It's actually postal. I don't know what I was looking at. I was looking at our credenza, where DeWitt feels like a legal name. There's a USPS box, and then there is a game that has a picture of a cartoon owl on it.
Very good.
But my brother, Francois and Francis, my parents had a real thing going.
They nailed it the first time, and they said, let's keep it going.
He likes to really emphasize the French pronunciation now that he's a partner. Right. He thinks it makes him sound fancier, and he likes to show off with his legal knowledge. So he's happy to provide it anytime he can. He doesn't really care so long as he gets to showboat about it.
Yes. I remember now. You told me this. Yeah, your parents, Franklin and Francia, are both very proud of your brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Manusia, how long have you lived here?
About 16 years.
Oh, shit. Okay, you're older than I expected, or not. How old are you?
36.
36, okay. So you grew up on Staten Island and then moved out here 16 years ago.
Exactly.
Copy. Doesn't sound like anyone I know.
Shut up.
Who could that be?
Manusia, I am going to ask you to take a distress because you've been feeling kind of bad lately. You have noticed that, your stomach is just a little more off than you like, and you've been getting these headaches, and you're just kind of feeling that pang in your head, kind of as you head upstairs. Who knows what it could be? It's just this. It's just it almost always feels like when you're back home you get these headaches, but it's just something that you remember kind of as you go up, and maybe you're a little nervous to go check on Danny. You're worried something's happened, but your stomach is just turning that little bit.
Ooh, yeah, Manusia touches his head and touches his tummy and goes, "You guys feeling weird right now?"
No, you okay?
You guys feel fine, Chester and Francis.
Those 4 flights of stairs finally getting to you?
Yeah, maybe. I ate one of the eggs coming down before I left the house today. Maybe it's that.
You can't eat the eggs.
What do you mean I can't eat the eggs? I made them. I know they're fine.
Eggs are
Why
a
not?
fantastic source of fuel. And,
Thank you,
and
Francis.
Yes, Joe used to hand out hard-boiled eggs to the marathon runners as they passed by
She
all
did.
the
Oh my
doors.
God, were they the same eggs?
And no, the marathon runners would take and eat those ones.
I
What do
don't
you mean?
know.
Are they the same
I mean, are they
eggs?
the eggs that were left on her
I mean,
doorstep?
they were definitely pocket eggs. She would carry them around in her pockets and give them out.
Don't say that like it's a
Of
thing.
course it's
What
a
do you
thing.
mean? Yeah, pocket eggs. Chester, do you not have pocket eggs on you?
Francis takes out a little sandwich, a reusable sandwich bag that is half a hard-boiled egg, but it hasn't been cut. It was clearly bitten in half. You gotta have your pocket eggs for when you need fuel on the go,
It's
Chester.
like a Bushwick tradition, Chester.
Guys,
Yeah, everyone in Bushwick
I love
does
you
it.
both, but this is not okay.
You should start selling
Oh,
them at the
this
cafe.
makes so much sense. Is every time I come into the cafe to order a pocket egg, you say, "What is wrong with you?"
Chester says this is not okay, and that radiator clanging seems to like kind of move past you. All you're hearing, you sort of hear it in the wall, like old pipes clank, 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 and then kind of moves into the distance.
You know, I just would have thought Richard wouldn't turn on the heat at all.
He usually doesn't. The heat hasn't been on in like 15 years.
That's a lot.
Also a problem.
Deeply illegal.
Listen, Francis, we'll definitely talk to your brother after this.
All right,
but,
yeah.
Let's check on Danny. And I knock on his door.
Yeah, you guys have approached Danny's door, and you knock. Go ahead and Chester, give me a solidarity check.
8. I keep seeing 8, and I think Orbs will lose.
Yeah.
But it's 9. It's 9.
You're knocking on the door, and you're not hearing the sound of coming to the door. You notice also that like outside the door is like a container of soup that somebody has maybe left outside that is uneaten.
Oh, and it's cold to the
it-
touch.
Oh, yeah.
It is cold to the touch.
Can I try and force my way into the apartment?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a militancy roll.
Yeah, I bet. That is a 9 on the dot.
You gotta push with the
9
legs,
on the
Manuja.
dot. Yeah, how do you break in?
I turn to Chester and Francis and go, "Don't worry, I got this." And then I turn the knob because none of the locks work, and then the apartment doors,
Yeah.
and walk right in.
Oh, that's another concerning detail. I mean, I know
Yeah,
this
this is a
building's
bad
bad, but
building.
everything that comes up is just worse than I imagined.
There aren't even tumblers in the locks. Like, it's not even that they're broken, it's that they aren't there.
Yeah. You guys open the door into this small studio apartment, and studio, let's call it a 1-bedroom. Hallways are dramatic. You open the door to this small
That was so funny.
Let's upgrade Danny
It's called
for
a 1-bedroom.
drama.
Hall rooms are dramatic.
hallways are dramatic. Hallways are good, baby.
They are,
Love
they
hallways.
I love it.
You open the door to Danny's apartment, and you hear kind of the low sounds of a small TV on in the bedroom, and you hear the sound of running water. And then you hear that grip, 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 clank, 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 clank.
Danny?
Hey, Danny, you here? It's Chester, Manuja, and Francis. We just wanted to come check on you.
Whoa, this place is bigger than mine.
Danny, I don't want to scare you. We're walking in.
Yeah, put some pants on if you don't have pants.
It's, you do you. If you're feeling ill, we're coming.
It's very dark in the apartment. As you sort of move down the hall, you see the bedroom to the right. The door is cracked, and there's that light, kind of white, staticky light of just like low TV going, like it's just like reruns of a sitcom. And then down the hall towards the end, you see a small strip of light coming from under the bathroom. And also that strip of light, while you can see it, the hallway feels like it just gets darker and darker and darker as you go down. And it's not a long hallway. We're in a New York City crappy apartment. It's like maybe a like 10-foot hallway at most. And it just feels lengthened by this darkness.
The lighting in this place is rough, Manuja.
Yeah.
Can I just walk down to the bathroom and just kind of knock on the door?
You walk down to the bathroom, and as you get close, you hear the like water running, and you kind of feel on your ankles because you're wearing. Oh, you feel on your toes because you're wearing Birkenstocks.
Ew.
Chester,
Feel it in your toes.
you get a waft of like hot, steamy air kind of onto your toes, and you hear the water running inside, and you're knocking. And you're not really getting a response.
Hey, Danny, just if you're in there, we're going to come in. We're just going to check on you. And I'm going to turn the handle and open the door.
As you turn the handle, Minutia trips over a bunch of Danny's Beyblades.
What?
Okay.
Minutia, make an escalation check. 2d6.
Damn it. That's a 6.
That's a 6. That's a fail. Okay.
Good.
You take another distress for making the escalation check and make a distress check for me.
9.
Okay, great. You pass the distress check. You do not get injured. You're well over your 2 distress. But you could have been injured, which would have been a hilarious way. As Minutia's tripping over Beyblades, Chester, you open the door and you see that Danny is laying back in the tub and he's got a big pair of headphones on and the water is running super hot and he's got like a warm rag over his face. Like he's trying to like sweat off something. You also notice that like above this like small tub, the corner of this room is dark in a way that almost is like the light is being sucked out of the room into the corner. And from that corner, the occasional drip, drip of like a tepid blue, gray, black liquid.
I'm just going to turn back to everyone and be like, guys, I think there's something bad in here. Danny's in here.
Oh, good.
Well, not quite.
Oh, no.
Can I see if Danny's breathing? Like, am I able to see, or like a pulse in his neck or something?
Give me an observation check.
Double 6s, 12.
Double 6s.
Nice.
On the observation check, you see that Danny is clearly unwell. Like his skin is pale, and it's like he's trying to, he's taking this hot bath to try and work off how bad he's feeling. But the water is kind of gray, but you do see him breathing. He is alive. He is just very weak, and it seems like he is trying to sweat this off. He thinks he probably has some kind of flu or something. It's kind of unclear what's going on with him. Can you also, Chester, make me a conspiracy roll for opening the door and how quietly you do it?
5.
Oh, no.
When you're going to look if Danny is alive, you push the door that little bit extra. Creak.
My eyes flick up to the corner.
Flick up to the corner, and you see from what was just this sort of darkness, a gooey form begins to emerge, turns its head at you, and opens a mouth of like oily blackness with these crooked teeth, and then drops down and begins trying to drown Danny in the tub.
Oh my God!
Guys, we got a demon in here.
A demon?
What?
Ah, shit.
You are now in combat. All rolls will be escalation checks. If you are not using a minor bane of some sort, they will be made against the odds and only able to escape conflict unless you have banes, which you can create from community benefits and stuff as a reminder. But the demon is trying to drown Danny.
Chester's gonna rush in and just try to like grab Danny and pull him out. Like whether I'm gonna try to go around this demon, but if I have to go through it, I'm fine with that.
Okay, make an escalation check against the odds.
Okay.
Oh, no.
For escalation, what am I trying to roll here?
2d6, and you're trying to roll 9, and you also take a distress for making an escalation check. So add 1 to your distress, and then roll 2d6, or roll 3d6, drop highest, and you're trying to beat 9.
Easy. 10.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
And that was against the odds?
I got 6, 5, 5.
Dang.
Oh, shit.
that. Chester, you rush in and put your arms around Danny and go to pull him out of the tub. As you get close, you see this demon up close. It's got this shine to it. There's a sweetness to the smell, kind of like that, like rotten sweetness of like mold and rot. It has a blue, gray, green, like liquidy body. Its arms extend out to just sort of bulbs of like fluid flesh. And it is just like using those arms to kind of form around Danny's neck and push it. But when you pull away, some of that like liquid flesh like splatters away, and it like screams at you like a
Jesus!
And like is like trying to like skitter up onto the ceiling to sort of get an angle on you, but you're pulling Danny away. Manusia and Francis, what are you doing?
Francis wants to run and turn off the water, and like if there was a plug in the bathtub, like to drain it. She wants to drain the tub and stop the water.
Give me an escalation roll against the odds. And remember, if you want to create a minor bane or have had one in some way, we can talk about why you might have had one.
Oh, well, I've done terribly, so I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4.
Total,
okay, so
yeah.
take a distress, and then could you make a distress check for me? Roll 2d6. You're trying to get over your current distress.
Okay. So it's statistically impossible for me to fail here.
Statistically impossible for you to fail.
So that's a 7.
Hell yeah. So you don't pass the distress, but you go to pull on this wedge, and you find that like the water has this sort of like thickness to it of this thing's body, and it seems to be kind of like pulling you into the water, and this thing had skittered up to the ceiling and it's dropping down, and it's now trying to like pull Francis under the water now that your arms are in there.
Oh no.
Elliot, can you explain like minor and major banes and like what those like what we should be looking for here?
So essentially, minor and major banes are things that are related to solving the problem that this demon comes from. Like, for example, if it was the gentrification demon from some of the other adventures in the book, that's like the solution would be a cup of coffee from the locally owned cafe. Is a minor bane. So it's like something that is the antithesis in a way, either in a small way or a very big way. Also, every demon has the minor bane of something that is handmade or made by collective effort without buying or selling. So like you can procure things like solidarity salt, flint knives, or other objects by like saying your community made them and then creating a community benefit or something like that.
Incredible. I think Manusia like kind of comes in the bathroom when he hears all the commotion, goes, guys, oh my God, sees the demon, and like Francis getting pulled in, and like has like a Beyblade in his hand and just like kind of instinctively just rips it. And so there's the Beyblade now spinning around in the bathroom.
Okay. Did you say the thing?
Let it rip.
Are you trying to distract it? What's the goal here?
No. That was just for fun.
It's just for flavor. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Manusia's like scared, sees this demon, and would a minor bane perhaps be these community pocket eggs we've been making in memory of Joe, our neighbor?
Yeah, that's kind of like is that a collective thing that like the building does? Is it not
the building
just you?
does this. Like all of us do this in remembrance of Joe, which is why no one really cleans it up.
You guys could have gotten some wooden eggs.
Rotten eggs are the least of this building's problems, Brian.
I think that an egg would count. That one of Joe's eggs, I think, would count as a minor bane. So with a minor bane, you don't roll the escalation check against the odds, but you still can't kill a demon with just one minor bane. You need multiple minor banes if your goal is to kill it.
Totally. I just want to point out that my pocket eggs, which started out as a joke, are now narratively relevant.
Narrative significance.
Fuck you, Brian.
You like eggs
you.
too much.
You're
That's
it's a
impossible.
normal
You're an
amount.
egg freak.
Eggs are great.
Listen, I like eggs as much as the next guy, but you're bringing them up into conversations that have nothing to do with eggs.
Unless the next guy is Shenuk.
Yeah, unless the next guy is Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Shenuk. So what is your goal here? You're trying to save Francis?
Yeah. Hit the demon with eggs and make them let go of Francis.
Okay, great. Give me an escalation check rolled normal.
Normal escalation shit. Come on. And I add nothing to that, right?
Add nothing. And also take a distress for making the escalation check.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, so you now have 3 distress. Give me a distress check. If you roll a 3 or lower, you will be hurt.
Oh, no.
Was that 3? So you got a 1 in 12 chance of this happening?
A 7.
Okay. Whew.
Okay, you're safe. Francis, you are feeling this dirty, tepid water kind of start to fill your throat as this gooey demon is just pushing you deeper and deeper into the tub. Chester or Francis?
Chester, do something. Francis,
Stay right there. I'll be right back.
Francis, it's okay. Francis,
I'll be right there.
remember what you tell the runners. What would you tell a runner right now?
Francis's head is fully underwater.
I'm gonna run into the kitchen and grab.
Drano?
No, I want to grab some like rust solutions. So I want to get like vinegar and like baking soda.
Okay, so like something like that you would use to like clean pipes.
Yeah. Specifically, it's like to clean rust.
Like a homemade solution.
Sure.
So it's like that might not be all this thing is, but certainly that is a part of it.
Yeah. I buy that. I buy that as a minor bane.
And I'll grab a Brillo pad too, so I can scour it.
All right.
That's real. Chester takes about 15 minutes in the kitchen
Chester's
to prepare
in the
his
kitchen.
solution.
I'm just throwing eggs. Chester!
Doing potions.
Chester, I'm running out of pocket eggs.
Chester is running into the kitchen, furiously grabbing vinegar, baking soda, and a Brillo pad, which are all easily accessible because they're standard kitchen items in pretty standard places, and is running back and is going to try to coat this like evil water demon in baking soda and also douse both Francis and Danny. I think all of us do, just like douse this in vinegar to hopefully like keep this thing off of us.
Great. You go to do this. First, give me a I think since you're not in direct combat to do this, you can give me a either solidarity or conspiracy check.
Solidarity all the way. Against the odds or regular?
Let's call it against the odds because you're rushing.
554. It's a 9 plus 2 is 11.
You find exactly what you need. You notice when you pull Danny kind of away from the bathroom, and you set him down and you remove this rag from his eyes, Danny is alive, but he is unconscious and he has kind of very labored breathing. He's alive, but he's unconscious. You run, you get this stuff, and then you come back with it. You have this stuff in hand. What do you want to do with that?
I want to take the baking soda and kind of use it almost as a like powder bomb, like throw it directly into this thing. Hopefully this chemical stuff is like mixing in with it and is going to make it let go of Francis is my hope.
Are you combining it with the egg? Like, are you using the eggs too?
I have half an egg in my pocket. I showed it to you earlier. Season that egg, Brian.
Season the egg, Brian.
Make me use.
Here's what I'll
pocket
tell
egg.
you. Mechanically, if you don't use multiple minor banes, you can't try to kill it.
What you gonna do, Brian?
What you gonna do, Brian?
Chester begrudgingly recognizes that the community has weighed in and the community has decided that pocket eggs are normal and okay.
Yep.
And that it seems like he needs to get on board in this moment.
Fuck yeah. All right.
And I'll reach into Francis's pocket, pull out her half-bitten pocket egg, take a bite as if I'm pulling a pin out of a grenade,
Horrible.
and chuck it in along with this baking soda bomb.
Incredible. Gain a distress for me and make an escalation check flat. And this is your first escalation check to attempt to kill the demon.
This is just for me, but because I had to eat a pocket egg, I'm going to go and give myself a bonus distress.
There you go. There you go.
My pocket egg was fresh from today. I made it this morning.
It also is now wet with yucky water. So.
It was in a Ziploc bag.
Oh,
it was canonically in a Ziploc bag.
It was in a Ziploc bag. All right. All right.
But yeah, okay. Francis is flailing, pushing yucky water everywhere. There.
I pulled out the Ziploc bag. I opened it. I took a bite, pulled out the pin.
You protected it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Elliot, what am I rolling?
You are rolling 2d6 because you're rolling a flat escalation check. You want a 9.
And I don't add any modifiers to it.
No modifiers on escalation checks.
5 and a 6 for 11, baby.
Yeah.
Damn, you're rolling like crazy
I'm rolling
today.
all
are
5s
rolling
and 6s
hot.
right now.
Hell yeah. You bite into this egg like a little grenade of this spirit of like Joe and the community, and you toss it into this thing, and it hits this gooey, tepid, blue, green, black liquid body, and it begins to kind of sizzle like it is fighting against the grime, and this thing releases Francis in like a moment of panic as it like starts scrambling around the room. With this check, with this successful escalation check, Chester, this demon has a resistance score of 2. That is the score you need to work down to defeat it. You now have worked that down from 2 to 1. So one more successful move against this demon, one more successful escalation check will take it down. But what this demon does is, upon feeling this attack, it scrambles around the room at an insane speed, like a cornered spider, unsure of where to go. Jesus, skittering and gooing and then it goes towards the shower faucet and shoves itself into it, and then disappears into the pipes. And you hear clink, 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 clink as that radiator sound as it moves down, down, down through the walls of this building. You're out of combat for the moment. You have a sick, unconscious, sort of pale Danny on your hands. What do you guys want to do next?
We gotta get Danny to a hospital.
Yeah. Okay, Francis, are you okay? You fine?
It's I'm not great, but it's thank you for that, Chester. You see those eggs. Those eggs are helpful.
I think it was more the baking soda, if I'm going to be totally honest.
It's more than just a source of protein.
It was probably the eggs. Yeah.
Does anybody want to take a look at kind of Danny's condition? You guys know that he's sick and he's unconscious, but it's not clear kind of yet what's causing that.
Yeah, can Frances? She's got some like bare minimum medical training for the Run Club. She could do CPR. She's got the bare minimum. Can I do a check to see if I can figure out what exactly is wrong with him?
Yeah, could you give me a solidarity check?
Always, my love. All right, that is a 9 exactly.
Hell yeah. We love it. So Francis, you've kind of, through your work with Legs Miserables, like you've been a runner for a long time. You're not a medical professional, but you have some first aid training, you have some CPR training maybe. And specifically through the community work that Legs has done, I think that you have seen this problem or heard of this problem before. Danny he seems to have lost weight. He seems to just be pale and weak. And you remember Minuja walking up the stairs and saying that their head and their stomach were bothering them. And you start to put together this demon, and what you know about demons is how they manifest real world problems. And you put together that Danny is suffering from pretty severe lead poisoning from lead in the pipes.
Okay.
Which means, Minuja, you are probably also suffering from lead poisoning.
Yeah, I bet I am.
Hey, you were the one who decided I'm Danny's neighbor.
So you chose to live in that building for 16 years.
And it helped us a lot. We got in easily. There was no checks needed. You're welcome.
I think you opening the door and saying that the locks don't work is probably my favorite move in a role-playing game ever.
Yeah, it was really good. Yes. So the demon is away for now. It's still in this building. You now know this building's got these fucked up lead pipes. Richard Stone clearly doesn't give a shit to replace them. And then you've got sick Danny on your hands who probably needs to get to a hospital. What do you all do next?
I think we got to get out of here, and we gotta prep it to come back. But Minuja, this is lead poisoning and it's bad, and if Danny's got it, then you almost certainly also have it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you should get checked out, man.
I think you should maybe you take Danny to the hospital.
Okay.
And also remember, tell them about you.
Yeah, I'll remember to tell them about me.
Your headache.
I'll tell them about Danny. We'll get it all. Yeah, we'll get the lead medicine.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the treatment is, but you go get it.
Chelation.
Chelation. What? Fun fact, it's called chelation.
What is that?
It's a kind of chemical therapy kind of dialysis that they flush through your body essentially.
And then I'm gonna run through the doors here and just let everybody in this building know to get out of here.
Great.
If there's a demon in the basement, we got to get people out of here just for the safety, but also just enough lead in the waters. I'll tell everybody to come to Cafe Annie. We've got a bunch of cots and stuff that we can set up.
Oh, good.
So we'll get people set up there, and then hopefully that'll clear out the building enough that we can come back tooled and kitted up and get rid of this thing once and for all.
Yeah, I'll go run around town, see if any of the local shops have a filter that might work. Just a temporary, but, something to get us started.
you guys have tangled with this demon, but you know that to really maybe solve this problem, you got to come back more prepped, and you got to get Danny to the hospital. So we see the three of you split off as we pull out of the bird building. Minutia hops on their motorcycle and takes Danny to the hospital. Francis starts running to the local hardware stores. Chester, you're running through the building, knocking on doors, telling all the neighbors that, hey, the building's not safe to be here. Come over to Cafe Annie. And the three of you split for these few tasks. And we'll take each of those in turn.
As I'm knocking on the doors and passing out like copies of our newsletter that had a recent thing about like what to do with lead poisoning and like what are the early warning signs, I see like a bit of a glimmer in the ink and recognize that like this might be something we can use as a minor bane in future battles.
Yeah, I'd say definitely. That'd be a minor bane. Cool. And Chester, for making Cafe Annie into a shelter, Cafe Annie is going to lose 1 cohesion, I'll say.
Okay, so Cafe Annie's down to 2.
Yeah.
What happens if it gets all the way down?
I believe that you need to like take time to like work on repairing the community. I think cohesion reaching 0 it immediately throws up a response.
I feel like a bunch of people immediately take me up on the offer, and like we set up cots. We have like space, but it also like it closes the cafe essentially for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. So your money's not coming in for a couple days while this gets resolved.
Money's not coming in, and people aren't there to like have community. I mean, they understand what's happening, but it's like that's not where you're doing your meeting anymore.
Minutia, you're taking Danny to the hospital. How are you doing that?
I kind of put a helmet on him. You can't see his eyes, and I kind of weaken it, bring him on my motorcycle to the hospital.
Insane. I'm not going to make you roll for that because I don't want the consequences of that roll going bad.
As you drive away, Chester's just like, just call an ambulance.
No, he doesn't have insurance.
They're too expensive.
Minutia, I am going to say that you go to the hospital and you get yourself checked out, you get Danny checked in. In order to bring your distress down of this lead poisoning, I'm going to say that you have to essentially spend some kind of resource when you bring distress down. And I'm going to say that for the moment, the bill, to extrapolate this and abstract it a bit, the bill from the hospital means that there is a lien on your house, so your house privilege is at risk.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Because we live in America, baby.
Oh.
I think it's not only you, but it's like you're fronting the bill for Danny, who like doesn't seem to have insurance.
I don't know this guy that well. Damn.
He's your neighbor. You were so excited.
You're right.
And then Francis, finally, you head to local hardware stores, and let's say you go to a hardware store, and George and Rami, who own the father and son duo who own a hardware store, kind of are there to help you out. What are you trying to accomplish here at the hardware store?
Oh, George, Rami, it's terrible news. The bird building has lead poisoning.
Oh, the bird building. Classic Richard Stone.
It's that fucking Dick Stone over there. Now that sounds kind of cool. Fucking Richard Stone.
Yeah, Richard Stone is lamer.
Richard Stone is lamer,
Yeah.
yes. God, we just had to rush send one of the tenants, Danny, that sweet Danny, to the hospital.
Oh, not Danny.
And do you have anything at all that we could use to try to fix this situation?
Let me look. Rami, man the register. I'll check the back.
Yeah, I'll deploy the running club. They can run to any of the boroughs, especially the big one.
Francis, go ahead and give me a solidarity roll here.
Ooh, that's a 10.
Midnight Muscadines is a cozy, dark, tabletop role-playing game where light and shadow intertwine in a fractured world. Players take on the roles of marmoteers, brave adventurers who journey into the untamed wilderness to collect the elusive Midnight Muscadines, craft magical jams, and protect the fragile light of Nim. Through collaborative storytelling and resourceful gameplay, players weave tales of courage, community, and the pursuit of balance. Will you preserve the light, uncover the truths hidden in the shadows, or reshape the balance of the world forever? Midnight Muscadines is perfect for fans of Studio Ghibli and Sea of Stars, who seek to capture the magic of exploration and the heartfelt adventure in a world where small heroes make a big impact. Play Midnight Muscadines as a traditional GM'd game, GMless, or even solo. Midnight Muscadines is crowdfunding now on BackerKit. Join the campaign at pandeongames.com/muscadines.
Hey everybody, this is Brian, and I just want to tell you about a great one-shot actual play we just ran over on My First Dungeon. It's for a new tabletop role-playing game called Mad as Hell, and it's sponsored by our good friends over at Soul Muppet Publishing. Mad as Hell is a new anti-capitalist demon hunting game where you play as radicals who fight the literal demons of capitalism. But what makes Mad as Hell different is that the demon isn't destroyed when you beat it in a fight. In order to destroy it forever and stop it from coming back, your radicals have to spend time in their community making meaningful social change in order to correct the root of the injustice that created the demon in the first place. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, check out our actual play one-shot of Mad as Hell over on My First Dungeon. And if you like what you hear, Mad as Hell is currently crowdfunding over on Kickstarter. So go and support some of our favorite people making some of our favorite games.
Oh, 10. It's an 11 because I
It's
got
an
5 plus my
11.
solidarity. I forgot to add my solidarity.
George heads into the back and you hear, like, this is one of those, like, awesome, like, tight hardware stores in New York where, like, it's stuff going floor to ceiling in every hallway.
really use the
or
vertical
every
space.
aisle. Oh, yeah. And he goes into, like, one of those rows, gets a stepladder, comes up, and he pulls this big, dusty box off of it. He goes, oh, I think this might be exactly the thing you're looking for. And he blows the dust off of it, and it is, like, just this very technical looking box that you'd like is like an obscure plumbing part with a bunch of numbers on it. He's like, here you go.
Oh, George, thank you so much. I'm just going to do a real quick look on the YouTube, see if there's maybe an instructional video.
Oh, it's a lead filter. It's a lead filter for the water heater in the basement, which and the pumps in the basement. If you it won't. Depending on how bad the pipes are, it won't be a permanent solution, but maybe it will, keep the people from getting sick while things get fixed up.
It's powerful enough to handle the bird building, at least for a day or two.
At least for a day, even a week. You might even get a week out of it.
All right. George, I could kiss you. Thank you.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time, Francis.
Oh, George. Rami's absolutely in a corner being like, oh my God, you guys
Dad.
are the worst. Francis is going to pay for it. And then she is going to get about a block away and then just sort of squat on the corner and watch YouTube videos to learn how to install the thing.
Great. Hell yeah. What was your guys' plan for regrouping after you kind of go off and do these things? Minutia, you get, you luckily are not at a level of poisoning where they need to put you on like chelation treatment, which is this very intense medicine, chemical medicine that they have to flush through Danny's system in order to get him back to normal.
I think we probably were going to come back to Cafe Annie to double check on like how Chester did getting people out and then seeing like what else those people might need for the night, that like if the Run Club has aid and stuff of if people left really quickly, just like other things they might need. And Frances also, she has a bunch of life straws, like the water filter straw.
Oh, hell yeah.
That she and the Legs Miserable will hand out to people for like hydration on the go and just as a sort of like a quick Band-Aid fix when you need like in an emergency situation. So we'll grab a bunch of those, give them to Minutia and Chester.
Life straws are like the personal filtration straws.
Yeah.
Very cool. Impossible to sip through.
They're like,
It's like sucking on one of those really thick McDonald's milkshakes. You're just even when they give you the big straw, they're like.
That would definitely, Francis, be a minor bane for sure, I would say.
Excellent.
You all arrive back to Cafe Annie. Minutia, your headache is gone you kind of realize that you've now had a headache for months. and it was just kind of low grade at times and high grade at other times, but you're starting in the light of a new day to feel a bit better. Chester, you're taking care of all these folks who are staying at Cafe Annie. You're, of course, still getting up and making coffee for all of them and like kind of running the cafe, but for free for all these folks.
All right, guys, I got this filter from George and Rami's shop, and they said if we can install it in the water heater in the basement, that might help filter some stuff. And I feel like that demon doesn't have a chance against this.
All right, I think all we need is just a way to distract it while you install it. I did something last night that I swore I would never do.
Go for a run?
You made pocket eggs?
I made 100 pocket eggs.
100 pocket eggs!
God.
My God, Chester.
There's
I
that
could just
you
kiss
both
you.
realize there's that subtle smell of hard-boiled egg in the cafe.
I knew you smelled better.
Can we also say that Chester's wearing cargo pants so that you have even more pocket in which to stuff your eggs?
Fine.
It's just more space efficient, and I feel like in the long run is going to be a benefit to you.
No, you know what? He put on the cargo pants and he's like, no, I'm not going to go the whole way. And he doesn't put the pocket eggs in his pocket. He puts them in a fanny pack instead.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll allow it.
And a fishing vest.
Yeah!
Egg vest.
Egg vest.
Egg vest.
We do have running vests if you want to use any of those. They're real sleek.
I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
This is where I draw the line.
We spritz them down after every run.
Nah, okay.
You share them?
Of course, it's a community.
How do you guys want to handle there's still this demon in the bird building. You've gotten the tenants out, but that fucker's still in there.
I think we got to go back, and I would prefer to do it during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting my fishing vest of pocket eggs out.
Yeah, I load us all up with pocket eggs as like a minor bane. I have I've printed out more copies of the like dealing with lead poisoning or like early signs of lead poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
And we both have like 2 life straws each.
Yeah, I can distribute the life straws.
Yeah, we're really kitted up.
Yeah. Hell yeah. You're all geared up. We get like the little montage of like you tucking life straws into the fishing vest and the eggs, and then
into the sock of our boot.
Yeah.
Francis, you strap a tote bag on with this big like lead industrial filter in it.
Chester picks up a Beyblade and goes, No, not today.
Not today, Chester.
It's not your time.
Save it for the competition.
You guys head back to the bird building, and you notice that parked outside is a big, bright yellow. Nope. Worse. You notice parked outside is a big Cybertruck.
I knew you were
I
going to
knew
go
it was a
Cybertruck.
I knew
You were going to
gonna
go
say
bright yellow
Cybertruck.
Hummer, and then you went Cybertruck.
And then I went Cybertruck,
No!
the now douchiest vehicle someone can own.
I don't know. Bright yellow Hummer is still pretty close.
It's nothing
still pretty
compared
up
to
there.
Cybertruck, Brian.
It's still pretty up there. And you see that little Richard Stone, Short King, is up on a stepladder installing a third camera outside of the building. Hey, you!
Yeah, what's up?
Where the fuck are my tenants?
You got lead in your pipes, my guy.
I don't have no lead.
You got lead.
Yeah, you do.
No. Good pipes in this building.
No. Danny's in the hospital with lead poisoning.
Danny, that kid probably does drugs.
What?
What?
He's a delightful individual.
Manusha, you got my rent, by the way?
Drugs don't give... Time out. Drugs don't give you lead poisoning, you fucking moron.
Hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's doing the fentanyl. I don't know what's going on in this city anymore.
That doesn't give you lead poisoning. That's not how... Do you know how drugs work?
Richard, you have ancient pipes. They have not been replaced or properly cleaned or maintained. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, dickhead.
Yeah.
What?
Can I take a different tact with him? Because I think he's just going to be a dick. Can I slap a hand on the box that Francis has? That's the like lead fixer, and be like, listen, all your tenants have been complaining that there's no hot water in this place. We went ahead and just bought a new like addition to your hot water heater. It's going to run clean and it's going to run cheap. And so we're just going to go install it. It's going to cost you literally like $5 a month. I'm happy to pay for it. You can take it. You can come down to the cafe. I'll pay for it. I just want these people to be able to have hot water, okay?
$5 a month.
It's a donation from Legs Miserable.
Legs Miserable. What kind of fucking
we're a
name is that?
free-running group age
I don't care
service.
at all, lady.
Oh, okay.
Brian, go ahead and make a conspiracy or solidarity. Are you trying to trick this guy, or are you trying to meet him at his shitty level?
I'm trying to... I'm not telling him what it actually is, because he'll just say, like, there's no lead in my pipes.
Then conspiracy. Yeah, let's call it conspiracy.
Can I go upper hand because we bought a whole machine?
Sure.
Yeah. 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 1, 10.
Whew. All right. Yeah. I'm not gonna look a free installation in the mouth. You know how much contractors cost these days? Get in there, get out, and bring my fucking tenants back, or I'll call the fucking cops on you, pal.
You can't. You can't force the tenants.
It's not going to work.
It's my income, Minutia.
I'm gonna kill
It's
him.
my
I'm gonna
job.
kill this guy. I'm gonna light this building on fire. Okay.
What was that?
Richard, we'll install this real quick, and then we'll be out of your hair, and there's no need for the cops to get involved. It's,
Okay, great. Yeah, if you guys could write up some paperwork, these renovations mean I could probably raise the rent next year. So yeah, thank you for doing it.
We'll get on that. Okay, bye, Richard.
Okay.
Bye, Richard.
Manusia, the building's too damp to catch on fire anyway.
The building's too damp.
Richard stays outside and keeps screwing in this third camera outside the door.
I slip some of the eggs into his bag.
Nice. Loose.
Loose.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, loose.
No shell.
So you guys head in and you head down to the basement. And it is daytime, so it's less dark. There's a little bit of natural light coming in the building. But when you open that door to the basement, it is pitch black.
No. Can I pull out my headlamp? Does it help?
It does, but there is a darkness fighting against the light of the headlamp almost. Like an unnatural darkness.
All right, I think we just gotta go in.
Can I chuck an egg in there? Just kind of, I'm not necessarily trying to use it as a bane, just try to get a reaction.
Go ahead and make an escalation upper hand, because you're trying to kind of help your way in.
Man, 4, 5, 6. So 11 plus.
Damn, Jesus, Brian.
Okay, hell yeah. And add a distress for doing escalation. You throw the egg in, and you hear that kind of watery sounds as the darkness retreats a bit into the basement, and you can sort of see a path.
And so, Francis, you're gonna put the thing in while Chester and I distract it?
If you cover me, I'll try my best to install this. But I have my own life straw should I need it.
Sounds good to me.
Manusia, you and I will try to clear a path with eggs and with the community newsletter and the life straws, and hopefully we can just get Francis down the middle to install this thing, and that'll be it. That'll be all we need.
Yep, sounds good to me. And then Manusia charges in to where the darkness kind of crawled away to tackle it, and then put my life straw in it, and I'm gonna suck it. I'm gonna suck it.
Jesus Christ. Chester, are you helping with this?
Yeah, I'm going in I'm piercing the straw through the newsletters, and I'm chucking these community the eggs of the community at this thing. I'm just trying to push it back to an area so it's away from the water heater that this thing needs to get installed in.
Okay, hell yeah.
And you're just this is for Joe, you asshole.
Manusia, go ahead and make me an escalation check. Late.
Oh my God, what'd you get?
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Total?
You take a distress.
Yeah.
What's your distress at?
It's at 6.
Okay, make a distress check for me.
Rolled a 9. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Why do
right.
you keep surviving distress but failing the others?
Okay, Chester, give me an escalation roll. Flat.
2d6.
Yeah, Manusia, you get thrown into the water heater, and the hot metal kind of hits you and singes your skin a bit.
Well, we found the water heater.
It's over here.
I rolled a 5.
Chester, make a distress check.
Oh, no.
Failed.
Oh, no.
No.
This demon's gonna kill us.
Chester, you get hurt. And getting hurt in this game is the equivalent of getting taken out of the action for a bit.
No.
And I am going to say that this demon, you run up to try and like get the opening that Minutia created. And this demon has sort of absorbed like water from this like dank, musty basement. And when you kind of take it all in, it has grown to kind of overtake half the room, and it just takes a big gooey like pseudopod arm and slams you into the ground, and you are just fully engulfed in this dirty water, and like you can feel yourself drowning in a way that like is going to have effects on your body. Chester's removed from the action for a time. Francis, what do you do?
Francis wants to run in and install this filter.
You could also attack it with the filter if you want. Like, that is kind of the thing with Major Banes, is you can use them as a weapon.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I'm going to run in filter first, kind of swinging it around in an effort to get to the water heater. And if I could do some damage in the process, I want to.
Great. Give me escalation check with the upper hand since you're using a Major Bane.
Okay, that's a 10.
Hell yeah.
10.
Nice.
Francis, you run into the basement. You see Minutia get thrown against this water heater, like hot metal against their skin. You see Chester get knocked to the ground and fully coated in water. And this thing interposes itself between you and where you need to install this lead filtration. What does it look like as you kill this demon with the lead filtration system?
Francis is holding the filter like over her head, and she's gonna bring it down over the top of this demon, but because it's a filter, it goes like the demon goes straight through it. And like as it goes through the other side, it comes out this like sort of crystalline light, clear, bringing light to the space. Just beautiful water, beautiful sparkling waterfall water.
And just like that part of it just splashes on the floor, and the main thing gets smaller and smaller with each swipe.
Yes.
Francis, you lift this industrial water filter over your head in one final swipe through the gaping, oily mouth of this demon as it screams at you one last time. And you swipe through it, and the entirety of it gets pulled through this filter and splashes clean water all over this basement. Minutia is knocked to the side, but is okay. Chester is hurt and knocked unconscious. What that means is that Chester will need to get to a safe place before he can take any more actions. But you're able to you have defeated the demon. You have knocked that last resistance score. Immediately, mechanically, that has some implications. If you were involved in killing the demon, which all three of you were, you lose half your distress, rounded down.
Oh, sweet.
Thank God. I was at 6.
And then because this demon was affecting members of the Cafe Annie community, I would say that Cafe Annie gains a cohesion for this demon being killed.
Oh, thank God, because it was also the one that was hurting the most. Turns out defeating the thing is really helpful.
Killing a demon does help.
Just all around.
But it is really helpful. But the thing about the demons in this game and where this demon came from is that this demon, as radicals, crawled out of a wound created in the world by the core problem of this building, which is that there's a corrupt landlord that will not replace these old poisonous lead pipes. So as you guys sort of, you lift Chester out of the water and you guys get out of the 2 inches of water and sort of settle and figure out what you're going to do next, you have this temporary solution of the industrial water filter, but the wound here remains. And this will take us into sort of the final segment of this game, which is the healing segment. And in the healing segment, you guys do material work to actually solve the problem that created this demon. And you kind of are facing somewhat of a ticking clock with this, in that the water filter will hold, but the water filter is not a permanent solution. And until the solution is implemented here, there is a chance that pipe leech crawls right back out of the wound and starts killing people in this building again. So what we're going to do in this scene, since this is a one shot, is I'm going to have each of you sort of think about a scene you want to do that is towards a solution. We can also brainstorm outside of scenes about how you guys are actually going to go about solving this problem for the residents of the bird building.
I have a question.
Hit me.
There are currently 3 cameras outside the front door of the bird building.
Correct. Yeah, Richard Stone was just installing the 3rd. You guys saw him.
Do any of them capture audio?
Ooh. Why don't you roll a conspiracy check for me to see if any of them capture audio?
Nice.
That is 8 plus 2 is 10.
One of them does indeed capture audio.
I'm wondering if one of our solutions can be using Francis's show-off brother lawyer. And we have audio of Richard Stone basically refusing to outright denying, saying there's new pipes in the building when there absolutely is not, just fully refusing to acknowledge the problem, and using it to sue him to get things replaced and prove that he's negligent and that he is a bad landlord.
It also is he has been made aware. It's proof that he was aware.
Yeah.
That we told him, and we even provided a solution, so he was fully on board with that.
Yeah.
I think I can also tag team onto that with doing some reporting and printing up some stuff in our local newsletter.
Cool.
And using some connections to hopefully get that into not the New York Times, but it's slowly bigger and bigger papers and help spread the word, so that then he has a little bit more pressure on him.
The Bushwick Gazette.
The Bushwick Gazette. And maybe that'll get quoted in the New York Daily News, and that'll get quoted in the New York Times.
The Staten Island Press.
So it's looking like we're going to do some, there's some different ways that they describe in the book that you might go about solving these problems.
Yeah, what do they say?
They are, rallying the community, raising awareness, evidence collection. It looks like kind of Francis is looking at an evidence collection sort of thing. And then Chester, you're looking at sort of a raising awareness kind of tool.
Yeah, 100%. I'm also going to use the cafe as just a hub of everyone who comes in. I'm going to make them very aware and just hopefully keep spreading it around the community so people take up the mantle on their own.
Minutia, you live in the building, so I imagine this is a potentially even more personal angle for you. What's your sort of thought on a scene to go after this?
We're gonna start with maybe forming a tenant union.
Love a tenant union.
We love a union.
Withholding our rent. We take this asshole.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, rent strike.
You got to put it in escrow. That's also something that Francis's brother can help out with, setting up an escrow account.
You know what? I don't know what an escrow account is.
Oh, escrow is basically you put money into an account that is basically saying this is you have to physically set aside the money when you're withholding rent or something, and it goes into account that says this money will be released when these terms are met, basically.
Oh, cool.
So it's you saying here is my rent, it is going over here. This will come to you once I'm able to.
Your security deposit is supposed to go into escrow because the conditions are this is to cover damages, but when the conditions of you have moved out and there are no damages, you get that money back. So your security deposit is supposed to go into escrow.
It's a bank account with conditions.
And it's supposed to accumulate interest too.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should be getting more than what you gave them.
Fuck. That's crazy. That's really crazy.
Landlords, trash.
Yeah.
We should kill them.
Okay, great. So it sounds like we have a plan of action. So let's kind of take each of these scenes in turn. So Francis.
Yeah.
Let's do kind of your bit first, and Chester Minutia, you can be involved in Francis's scene, obviously, and chime in. So I feel like there are 2 things here, Francis. You need to find a way to gather the tape from this camera, and then you need to work with your brother to build a kind of case, or at least whether you're actually going to take the lawsuit or if it's just kind of a threatening thing or or an expose kind of thing. You let me know.
Also, I just remembered something.
Mm-hmm.
My token is a lie detecting friendship bracelet.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I forgot about that. Yours should have been tightening up
forgot about
on Richard Stone talking a lot.
Yeah, when he was talking, when we mentioned, when he was like, the pipes are new, there's no lead in my water, did it tighten up? Did I definitely get a feel?
100%. Yeah.
He knows he's lying.
I was pretty confident, but you never know.
Yeah. Which is a good reminder that you guys all have tokens and they can come into play in the scene. Like, Francis, you've got your open access token. Minutia, you've got the Jugs of Justice. Which Brian, I think, doesn't know what it does.
That's true.
I don't know what Jug of Justice does.
Because you decided to take your headphones off in session 0.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah.
Cool. So, Francis, where are we beginning with this?
I think Frances knows that she wants to start collecting like evidence. She wants to get like notes from the hospital with like Danny and Minutia. If anybody else is experiencing symptoms as well from the building, like sending them and also getting like that medical information. And then she really wants to check out these tapes and see if any of them have audio and just like what they've got going on. Can I sort of hack my open access to use it as a way to like sort of hack the video system of the building?
Here's what I would say. I think that like these scenes are a good opportunity to like maybe create a benefit from your community. Like I would say that unless like Francis, you see Francis as like a hacker of some sort. And if you do, like if you're like, yeah, that's a character trait of her, cool, I'm into that. If it's like somebody else, then like I would say let's make a community benefit about it.
Got it. Cool. Yeah. I feel like the Legs Miserable, we've got folks of all sorts. And I feel like she really deploys them to help people like clear things out from their apartment to temporarily, relocate and in sort of storming the building with chaos of like lots of people going in and grabbing things from apartments or whatever. She's definitely got, it's the same gals who taught her how to like stalk people on the internet and find out things about them. It's like the 23-year-old who are on the dating apps and are investigating the people they're going on dates with who know how to hack.
Cool.
It's social hacking.
Yeah.
It's social hacking. Yeah.
Although maybe they take it a little further than that. Who is to say what they do in their spare time besides run?
So I'm gonna say let's bring the cohesion down of Legs to a 3. And who's the hacker? Who's this 23-year-old stalks all their dates hacker that helps you get into this camera?
Her name is
Esmeralda.
Sure. Her name is Esmeralda. She also joined Legs Miserable with the hope of meeting a partner. And she's got dating on the brain, and she's willing to go to extreme length.
Can she go by Meryl?
Meryl?
Meryl.
Yeah,
Meryl.
Esmeralda.
It's a stretch that no one anticipated.
Sure, yeah, she could go by Meryl. She's trying out different nicknames, seeing which one like attracts people most. And this month it's Meryl.
Yeah.
She's hoping to play off of the Meryl Streep love.
I think Meryl is probably like a transplant vibe, and I think that she is like young, type A, like maybe like works in marketing.
Absolutely. Of course she works in marketing.
Of course she works in marketing. And she pulls out a laptop that is like thick and like has like some real fucking processing power to it.
Yeah, she does.
And she starts going at this. Could you make a conspiracy check with the upper hand for me for Meryl going after this tape?
Hack the planet.
All right, 5 and 2 is 7 and 2 is 9.
Hell yeah, 9 is a success. Meryl's clicking at the computer, and she's like, so like, is the landlord cute?
Absolutely not. He's a bad guy. Also, generally, I just don't think you should go for landlords. As a group, they're not the best. He's not married, to my knowledge, but that's also unsurprising.
I guess you're probably right. Oh, God, I'm in.
Meryl, you sweet genius. You know, I have a nephew who's
Oh.
real cute, works in finance.
Finance.
Yeah. If you're into that.
6'5", blue
Not
eyes.
quite, but 6'2", maybe.
Okay, 6'2" can work. 6'2" can work. Meryl, I think, is 5'3".
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like
We can get him some lifts.
okay.
A 6'2" guy with lifts.
That's so funny.
Lives
You
in
know
a
what?
2-inch heel.
There's a guy out there who's doing that. And you do you, sir.
She's like, do you also want his emails?
Oh, Meryl, you sweet genius. Yes.
Great.
Can you print them for me?
Oh yeah, sure. I don't have a printer.
The cafe has a printer with like reams of free paper, and as you start printing out, just like printing out emails, I can't even imagine how much fucking paper that is.
Yeah,
Chester the whole
lots of
time is
ink.
just kind of like, it's for a good cause. It's for a good
It's
cause.
such
It's
a
for good
boomer
cause.
thing.
It's for a good
I
cause.
feel like
Yeah.
halfway through, Francis is like, you know what? This is actually maybe more than I realized. We'll just keep the ones we've got in the digital. I'll have Francois printed at his office.
Okay. And she prints like the last month of emails and also has this digital recording of y'all's conversation with Richard outside. So you get the like you telling him there's lead in the pipes, him saying where the hell are my tenants, him saying that, oh, after you put this filtration in, I can raise the rent. Thank you. And just generally being a dickbag and also saying a few like clearly illegal things as a landlord in New York City.
I'm really imagining like as he's installing it, it's like that that documentary with the killer when he goes to the bathroom. He's like,
Oh my God, I
killed
didn't
them
realize his
all.
mic was
Oh
on.
my God. Yeah, he totally does. What does he do when he's alone? I'm trying to think what he would say.
Just muttering to himself about like these fucking suckers.
He's just like physically installing it, being like, 15 grand to replace one floor of lead pipes. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Oh, yeah, he knows he's gotten a quote. Yeah. That's exactly it. So you also see in his email in the printouts, you see several requests from tenants going unanswered, told they will be fixed, but never fixed. You have this sort of body of things that he has just like tacitly been doing wrong.
And I think it's only after I have gathered all of the evidence that I want to say Francis tries to go to Francois' office to do stuff, but Francois insists on coming to Cafe Annie. And it's that awkward thing of like, I'm trying to like hide him, but he's such a showboat and talks so loud and is like grandstanding. And like, yes, he's going to support the people, but they're also like, is there another lawyer?
Chester comes over and offers him a pocket egg because they haven't been as popular as Minutia claimed.
You might have to start pickling some of these guys.
Yeah.
Francois is like a larger guy who is wearing like a very nicely tailored suit that sort of pushes into the door in the way that nobody ever opens the door of Cafe Annie, where it kind of hits a table. Frankie! How's my baby sister?
How are you, Francie?
Oh, I'm good. So who we suing?
All right. Why don't you come to this back corner table over here? We have a local landlord. It's got lead pipes in the building, and he clearly knows. I've got all of these emails.
Lead
We've even
pipes.
got video evidence. We've got the medical records, and we're hoping to put the pressure on him and you know, sue him if we really need to. I know you like going to court, but that's also a lot
going to court.
on the people.
Love going to court. He sips a Starbucks that he brought into Cafe Annie.
Oh, no.
Real quick, Chester comes over, grabs the Starbucks from his hand, puts a new coffee in his hand from the cafe and goes, "We really appreciate your help, but this is fucked up. You drink this." Chucks the Starbucks. Wait, we're a union shop here and we respect unions.
Shit, man. My bad.
Take a drink. Take a sip right now.
Sure, no problem.
It's good
Oh,
stuff,
this is good.
Francie.
Is this what coffee's supposed to taste like?
That one costs $3.50.
$3.60. Oh god.
So shop local,
he
Francie,
hands you a
after
5.
telling you this.
I put 2 pocket eggs in front of him and be like, these are on the house.
Okay. And you called these pocket eggs. Am I supposed to put them in my pocket before I
don't know. They're supposed to be popular.
If you want to eat them later, yeah, but you could eat them now.
Oh, thank you. Frankie, what's going on? And
Yeah, if you don't want the eggs,
Really, look,
someone will eat the eggs. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, Manuja comes up. Hey, I'll have the eggs if you don't want the eggs.
oh, yeah, you can have one of them. I do want to try one.
Sweet. Puts that in the pocket, walks away.
I've sold 20 of the eggs to Manuja. I've sold a total of 24.
I think that Francis, can you make a solidarity check to see if Cafe Annie's community loses cohesion because you've brought this dickhead corporate lawyer brother in?
Yeah.
Can I grant the upper hand? Because I'm kind of like, I kind of vouch for him.
Sure. Yeah, you can grant the upper hand for sure.
I feel like, yes, he gets the upper hand for kind of against his will, but accepting the Cafe Annie coffee in exchange
And
for
the pocket egg.
and the
And the
pocket
pocket
egg.
egg.
He did
Yeah.
say he would try one.
And you like
Yeah.
the coffee?
Oh, baby. That is a 12.
Hot damn.
A 12. Yeah,
A 12.
100%.
Well,
Here's the thing about Frankie, right? Like, Frankie is a dick. No doubt about it.
You mean Francie?
Francie, you're Frankie. Francie's a dick.
Yeah.
But he's a lovable dick. And you spend enough time with him and you start to see that underneath his corporate lawyer life is a heart.
Yeah.
And people, it's one of those guys where like you meet him and you're like, I want to not like you. But I've spent about an hour with you. And I do, unfortunately. And you and him sit and you go over these documents and he's like, all right, I think we got something here. Last thing I need, Frankie, is I gotta have a tenant to represent. You can't bring this suit against the landlord. You don't live there.
Oh, a tenant. Let me see if would they have to go on the stand and talk?
But if we go to trial, it depends on. Well, I mean, we could just send Here's what we can do. I could send a letter to scare this guy. We could serve him. We could go to the city. There's a few options.
Okay. Before we get to because that's a lot to ask of the people. But you know what? Actually, Manuja, who just took that egg from you, they live in the building.
Egg guy?
Egg guy.
All right.
Manuja's sitting in a corner just stuffing a bunch of pocket eggs into his mouth.
Oh my god.
I like that Egg Guy describes both Manuja and Chinook.
You're playing Chubby Bunny, but with pocket eggs. And alone.
Chubby Bunny with pocket eggs is actually so disgusting. That's actually maybe one of the worst things I've ever imagined.
Hey, Manuja. You gotta come over here real quick. Well, chew first. Chew.
Okay.
Cool. You're chewing pocket eggs. They have that conversation. Let's kind of shift over to Chester and doing some raising awareness work.
I think Chester is looking over all of the emails and all of the footage that Francis has gathered, and is trying to have this be a story that lasts a couple of weeks. Like basically every new issue of the newsletter that's coming out, it's a daily newsletter, every new issue is coming out, has at least a large section, if not the headline, of new information. So I'm trying to publish the most damning documents, because ultimately we obtained all that stuff illegally. We can't really use it in court. But
Correct,
if it's published, then that might be a backdoor of ways we can use it in court. I don't have to reveal my sources, but it's not that information is in a public record. So I am just putting out the damning documents of he got quotes and he's ignored them. He is not putting money in escrow and is not paying people their security deposits. Was planning to up the rent because we installed a water filter.
Right.
And then not only just the lead poisoning stuff, that's definitely a big thing, but every little ticky-tacky thing. And I think at the bottom of every newsletter is also like, if you've been affected by this landlord, call Francois, and I'm hoping to get like a class action suit rather than just a single person.
Nice. Okay.
Copy. Very good. And are you, so I'd say with the Cafe Annie newsletter, you have the ability to distribute that. I think if you're going to try and get it into like the neighborhood Gazette or something, the Bushwick Gazette, like that's going to be like you need a contact or you need some kind of check, or how do you want to go about kind of spreading it a little farther than your smaller reach?
Can I use Cafe Annie to create a benefit?
Yeah, 100%. What's the benefit going to be?
I think all of Cafe Annie's benefits are like regulars. And this is a regular who is the metro editor of like the Bushwick Gazette, or like a Brooklyn-based paper that has like, rather than just being this very small neighborhood, it is Brooklyn.
Cool. Hell yeah. What is this metro editor's name? And also make sure to knock a cohesion off of Cafe Annie.
Cafe Annie is down to 2, so we're hurting a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a woman named Bobby Woodward. No relation.
Bobby Woodward.
She introduced herself as Bobby Woodward, no relation.
Bobbi Woodward, yeah.
Bobbi Woodward. Bob Woodward.
Yeah. Very good. Bobby Woodward is, I think that she is an older woman, maybe middle age, and has like kind of a mop of like curly hair on her head, and she has the same vibe as Bob Woodward.
Exactly. She has a cat on a leash that she brings around named Bernstein.
Oh, very good. Very good. She comes into, do you call her in?
She comes in basically every day, and I pull her aside one of those days.
Yeah, she comes in and she gets the same order every time: a black coffee with 6 Splenda, and unbuttered toast. And she comes in and she says, "Chester, how are you?"
I'm doing good. You want a free pocket egg?
Oh, I would love a free pocket egg.
Would you love a paid pocket egg?
Oh,
you gotta stop giving
I'd
them
be
out
happy
for
to
free.
pay. Yeah, I just thought you were trying. I thought you were offering. I don't know.
No,
yeah,
I said no.
Chester,
I said free. I said
I'll
free.
pay.
Well, actually, here, let me do this for free because I got a favor to ask.
Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
You seen all the stuff that we've been reporting about in the newsletter the past couple of weeks?
Chester, I don't really have time to read anything other than the stories my reporters send me.
Well, listen, let me give you a couple of these, and I think it might be a story worth covering. It's local. It's very local, but I think it has some wider implications for Brooklyn. I think it's kind of a piece on the city, honestly, and like how landlords are taking advantage of citizens. And I think this is a very clear example that you can maybe use this as a thread to draw a bigger story.
All right, let me look this stuff over. Could you give me a solidarity check with the upper hand?
I'm rolling so good. 5, 5, 4, so 10 plus 2 is 12.
Damn.
12.
Whoa.
Bobby's looking for her big break.
Over her her black coffee and her toast, and you see that she calls you over to buy a couple more pocket eggs, and she's like biting a pocket egg, biting her toast. She's got everything laid out, and she says, Chester, I gotta be honest, I think that this Richard Stone guy, he's part of this boys club of landlords. There might be a story here. I got some reporters talking down in Park Slope about a similar situation. Thank you for this. I think this will be a good story.
Of course, and just so you know, I've got a person on the inside feeding me some information. They're called Deep Stretch.
Deep Stretch, huh? All right. We'll be in touch.
I feel like I missed whatever this joke is.
I was trying to make a deep throat joke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fun.
The
Nice.
journo is Bobby Woodward. Yeah.
No relation.
No relation. Bobby Woodward, no relation.
Their byline is Bobby Woodward, no relation.
Got it.
Chester, is there anything else you want to kind of do in terms of raising awareness, or if you want to contribute to anything else kind of happening?
I also have my privilege is an accountant that's only available during certain hours. I am going to call my accountant and just see if there's anything that Cafe Annie can do to like assist in the potential like if we need to tool up for a legal case, is there anything that Cafe Annie can put towards it?
You give your accountant's office a call and go straight to voicemail. Not open right now.
I leave the same message like,
Hey, it's Chester over at Cafe Annie. You've changed your hours again, so just give me a call back when you get this. Just look to see what available funds we have if we need to go to the matches on a upcoming community problem.
9:30 p.m. You get a call.
wild.
Chester,
Hey,
Chester, it's your accountant.
hey, what's up? How's it going?
Good.
Zach, you okay?
I got your call. Yes.
Okay, you just seem a little more frantic than usual.
Oh man, it's tax season, and I'm losing it.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's April 14th. Oh,
It's
Jesus,
April 14th.
This could have waited until Tuesday.
No. For you, I'll always call. I'll always
I
call just
appreciate
at very inconvenient times. I mean,
I just wanted to check in. We might have to go to the mattresses on this neighborhood problem, and I just want to see what available like liquid funds Cafe Annie has that we could like kind of devote to something that we might not get back. I don't want to put the cafe in danger
Liquid
long term, but
funds.
like, you know, if we have anything that we can move around.
You hear like an old paper printing calculator. Pulling the paper.
Chester, you're fucking broke, man.
Yeah, but you know, but wait, what happens if you move the numbers around?
More clicking on the keyboard.
Can you crunch the numbers again?
Click.
Okay, all right. Maybe we can move around some assets. How much money are we talking about? What do you need?
I mean, there might be a legal case that might be dragged out kind of indefinitely.
Jesus.
Crunches more numbers.
Oh God.
Go ahead and make a conspiracy check to see if your accountant can do funny math with your
Can
finances.
do funny math.
Am I just rolling straight or upper hand?
I think straight. I think financial stuff you're gonna have to take distress if you want to turn this into a success.
Oy.
Rolled an 11.
Oh, you fuck.
Yeah.
There we go.
He's crushing.
I go to this accountant because they were on Wall Street, did go to jail for a couple of years, and do some stuff that might not be totally legal, but they're doing it for good.
Totally legal.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Robin Hood finance.
You met Zach once in person, and he had the largest bags under his eyes of any human being you have ever seen.
He was wearing a crumpled suit that clearly hadn't been dry cleaned in like months, but also a $40,000 Rolex.
Yes, clearly like a very once wealthy, maybe not anymore, but like this. And he just starts pumping on the calculator. He's like, hold on, you hear him ruffling through files or whatever. He says,
All right. So, if we refinance the cafe, we switch how we file your distributor, and then we take these expenses and we classify them as this. I think I can set aside, a decent pot of money for this. But do not pay your quarterly taxes this quarter. All right.
And I'm going to take a bit of a penalty on that in the back end, but it's
Yes, but
it's
it will
gonna
be
fine.
worth it. It will be worth it.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye.
Oh, bye.
End of conversation.
and you've able to set aside some money to help kind of support this class action, or help support whatever minutia brings the tenants together to do. You've got a little fund.
3 hours later, a bike messenger comes to the door with a envelope that includes all of the paper printouts from those calculations.
Yeah.
And it's just got a note like, here you go. And he does this
here
every
you
time.
go.
And I don't know what to do with it.
Roll. It's the full roll of his calculations and then a wad of cash.
It's like, thanks, I guess. I believe you. I have no context for these equations.
And then let's go over to minutia.
The first thing is my privilege is house big enough for everyone to stay at, but it's far to get to.
Oh, right. It's on Staten Island.
Yeah. I think the bird building folks are all on.
The bird building folks are all in this big house on Staten Island.
Yeah.
I do want to be clear that you offered, and all of them kind of hemmed and hawed. And then I said, well, I don't think I can keep you guys here at Cafe Annie for too much longer.
Yeah.
And then they all went.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. They all loved Staten Island and jumped at the chance.
No, and they all love Staten Island.
no.
They all
No,
love
no,
it.
no.
The way it happened is the way it happened.
Listen, this is a fantasy. We might as well indulge.
Manuja, so you bring all these people to the house. They're all on Staten Island. The drawback of it being far away, how do you help these families get to school and people get to work and stuff from Staten Island? Like, how do you sort of help manage that aspect of having them all stay at your house?
I have a school bus at the because of the Daughters of Ireland, inclusive of all races and genders, have a Daughters of Ireland school bus from when we had do community events for children and take them to important Irish American monuments.
Great.
And Chinook, what are those
So-
important Irish American monuments in New York City?
Yeah, list your favorite. Just everybody tell us everybody go around and say their favorite.
Everyone, let's go around the horn.
Yeah.
And everyone say your favorite.
So, Chinook, that bus definitely seems like a benefit you're creating from the daughters. So the daughters are going to lose one cohesion.
Yeah, that's fine.
And every morning for like the week while Francis is gathering this evidence and Chester is writing these newsletters, you're hopping everyone into a bus from your house in Staten Island. And you truly have like a school bus route of all your neighbors around the city.
Yeah. Totally.
I think you're going to take a distress because you're not getting enough sleep because of how early you have to get up to drive all these people.
God damn it.
But they really appreciate it. They really, really appreciate it.
Tons of time to talk about our little tenant union and rent strike.
And everyone's getting that good Staten Island water. So people's headaches are starting to clear and their stomachs are starting to feel better.
I think we're also distributing the newsletter on the bus.
And then I just kind of chill at Cafe Annie until I have to go pick everybody back up.
There's this green, orange, and white bus for that week that is always outside of Cafe Annie. That I feel like on the back has a lengthier version of a coexist sticker.
Yeah, 100%.
Coexist and also be nice and also and each letter is a different symbol from around the world. How do you go about kind of starting the conversation around tenant union and potentially a rent strike?
Okay, I'm driving the bus and I'm like, everyone, we're starting a tenant union and rent strike. No objections. We're doing it.
You're saying this over the loudspeaker on the bus?
Yeah.
Nobody pay your rent. There's an escrow account. We're gonna put your money there.
What's
and then,
escrow?
Yeah,
honestly,
what's
here's what
escrow?
we're gonna. Just hold on for a second. This is my turn to talk, and I'll let you guys talk. Just give me a second.
I have questions about unionizing.
Yes, I bet you do. Just give me a second, and I'll explain everything that's about to happen. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it in an escrow account if we have to pay him rent, but technically, legally, this apartment building is no longer livable, so in which case we should not have to pay the rent. Therefore, we will continue putting money in the escrow account, and if the courts decide that we have to pay, we'll give him the money. However, it seems most likely that because it is unlivable and there's no clean water to drink, which is something the landlords have to provide legally, we won't have to pay this money. Anyways, an escrow account is where you okay, wait, this was just explained to me. Give me 1 second. Let me pull out some piece of papers that Francois...
Eyes on the road!
Oh, yeah.
Watch where you going.
Shut the fuck up, Nancy.
Chester passes out a bunch of newsletters that have a breakdown of here's what an escrow account is. Here's what a tenant union looks like. Here are here are your rights as a tenant. Here are landlord's duties and stuff. And is crossing out the things of he hasn't done this, here's what we will do, here's what we won't do, yada yada yada.
And on top of that, please everyone send us your doctor reports that say you had lead poisoning or on the verge of lead poisoning.
What, you want my medical history?
Yeah, Jermaine, I want your freaking medical history. You want your money? You want to pay rent or not? What do you want to do?
Do you need the papers from my chiropractor?
No, Nancy, you keep your chiropractic papers. We don't need that.
What about my ophthalmologist?
We don't need your ophthalmologist, just your lead doctor.
A lead doctor? What do you... I don't know if I have one of those.
Minutia, do you want my report card?
No.
Minutia, could you give me a solidarity check to, over that week while driving, try to convince all these tenants and neighbors of yours that a rent strike is a good idea?
Can I try to grant the upper hand by like assisting with additional information?
Yes, you can. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like also Francis is the run club is like doing local, like picking up the kids from school sort of a thing. So they have someone to walk with. And like, yeah.
All right, that's an 8.
That's an 8. That is a failure. Would you like to exert?
Yeah, I guess.
So take a distress for each die you're re-rolling.
All right. That is a 9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just succeeds.
We get the exact number of votes.
That week, you hear so many versions of that bus ride, the conversations, the questions, and Minutia, you exercise a Herculean level of patience as you talk this out with everyone. And we reach the end of this week, people have not been staying in the bird building, and you know that water filter is not going to hold for too much longer. The ticking clock is happening. You guys have spent this week going after these 3 angles, collecting evidence, spreading awareness, and in Minutia's case, some direct action with the tenants, withholding rent, forming a tenant union. How do we deliver this information to Richard Stone so he either gets his act together or goes to court?
I want to staple together all of the newsletters that I've put out this week that like detail all of his like emails, and I print out his emails and like things that he's said that we picked up on videotape. I want to take it and find his Cybertruck in the city, which is it's just always fucking around. It's got a big fucking vanity plate that says landlord.
Oh.
Gross.
You know someone out there has that place.
Someone does.
Yeah. And I'm going to put under his windshield wiper all of those things with a note that says like Cafe Annie 6 p.m. To hopefully draw him like into our space. And I'm also going to shove a bunch of pocket eggs into his tailpipe.
Hell yeah. Can you give me a militancy check?
Oh no, I'm so bad at that. Can I get a bonus for using the pocket eggs?
No.
Gotta try. Oh, 7.
7. I think that some local beat cops sort of scare you off of messing with the car. I don't think you get arrested, but I think that Richard Stone is in with like the cops in the area because of course. And I think that like when damaging a Cybertruck is terrorism in America now. So
exactly.
You go approach the Cybertruck, and I think some cops sort of like just make their presence known and keep you at bay from leaving a message and leaving the pocket eggs. But I think that what does happen is I think the next morning the letter or the article comes out in a Brooklyn-wide paper from Bobby Woodward, which details the abuses of Richard Stone against his tenants, and also details that he's part of the Land Kings, which is a boys club, a boys club of shitty landlords that all like get drinks and smoke cigars together as they talk about ways to save money and make their tenants' lives worse off. So there is a kind of this expose that comes out, and I think that Richard Stone storms into Cafe Annie to like get in your face, Chester. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Dick. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, fuck you, pal. You do this?
Goddamn right.
We all did it. Fuck you.
Minutia, where's the rent? It's April 15th, when you pay rent.
It's tax day.
We're
Tax day.
on a half rent cycle. We're on a half mid-month cycle. I'm that kind of guy.
It's even worse because it's like between when people are getting their paychecks or whatever.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, we're not paying your rent. We're on
What
a
do you
rent
mean not
strike,
paying?
big guy.
Rent strike?
It's a rent strike. Yeah, we have a tenant union. You can go fuck yourself. Your money's in an escrow account till you fix the building, you fuck.
What? Fuck you. What if I fucking evict you? How about that?
And we'll see your ass in court.
I'd like to see you try. And then Francis and Francois stand up from behind the door, and Francois makes a real big... He could have a paralegal serve the papers. He could have anyone in the company do it. But he insists on serving papers himself every single time.
That's his favorite
This
part.
is Francois' favorite part. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. He loves it. Richard turns around and sees Francois and kind of like looks up at him like, oh.
Yeah. Richard's 5'2".
What? What? Court? You're suing me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
You're damn straight we are.
I perform a service. I provide people with housing. I do good. This is
You're
a good
not
job.
doing that
You've
service,
never done one
though.
good thing in your goddamn life.
We'll see about this.
You're falling down on the job. You have lead pipes. You've acknowledged that you have lead pipes, and you've been refusing to fix them for years. We have all the evidence.
And all you're doing is extracting wealth from the community. You're not adding anything.
What?
You add zero value add here, honestly. Like, if you died and went away, the community would not miss you.
Okay, I gotta call my lawyer, all right? This isn't over, all right?
You do that,
Can I have a pocket
Richard.
egg?
No.
Well, wait a minute, guys. I gotta sell these things.
You pay double.
Special price for you, Richard.
You need landlord pricing.
Fuck, all right. Well, okay. Do you have change for
I
a
have a
20?
pocket egg.
Yeah, from your hand to mine, and I snatch it away from him and give him a pocket egg.
And he scampers off to go find his lawyer to try and face this litany of challenges that you guys have thrown at him. And I think that in sort of a metaphysical way, we see the bird building again, and we can see just like a little bit of more color to the building. We see the bird art on the front takes on a less menacing quality. You're like, oh, in the broad daylight, this is just kind of like a baby bird waiting to be fed. It's like, it's not scary. There's a long road ahead here with this strike and with this court case, and who knows if it'll hold up. But you guys have put a lot of work into solving this problem, and you can feel in that basement where this pipe leech was that the wound that it crawled out of is starting to heal. But of course, this is just one building in a city with thousands of buildings. This is just one of 4 buildings Richard owns. And somewhere else in Bushwick, in Brooklyn, a pipe leech crawls out of another basement. And that, I think, will bring us to the close of this Mad as Hell episode. Remember that this story is over, this wound is closed, but the struggle continues. Your radicals in this world will continue to fight and continue to invest in their communities. As the game says, as I will steal from the game, this game was just practice. When you're ready, stop practicing and do it for real, because it's time to get mad as hell.
Staten Island's a good place.
Thank you so much to our friends at Soul Muppet Publishing for sponsoring this one shot. You can go back mad as hell right now on Kickstarter.
Do it.
Thank you for listening. Go meet somebody in your neighborhood today and eat a pocket egg, Furry.
Eat a pocket egg.
Eat a pocket
Guys,
egg.
don't
Better
eat
yet,
a pocket egg.
Pass the
Eat
pocket
a
egg
pocket
on
egg.
to the next person.
Yeah.
No, we don't need any. The world doesn't need more pocket eggs.
And
The world
remember,
needs
We
many
need
more
direct
pocket
community
eggs.
action, but not pocket eggs.
if you're having fun,
You're
already doing it right.
And Staten Island's actually okay.
It's great. It's lovely.
This episode of My First Dungeon is sponsored by Soul Muppet Publishing. Mad as Hell is crowdfunding the entire month of May over on Kickstarter. So if you like what you just heard and you want to play in your own anti-capitalist demon hunting game, then head on over to Kickstarter and search Mad as Hell. This episode features the voice talents of Elliot Davis, Brian Flaherty, Abby Hepworth, and Chinook Tessera. This episode was edited by Brian Flaherty. Sound design by Rowan McStay. with additional sound design by Brian Flaherty. Music and sound effects provided by Artlist.io. My First Dungeon is a many-sided media production.
If you're hearing this, that means you listened to every last second of this episode. If you're not caught up yet, that's great because then there's plenty more to listen to. But if you are caught up and you simply can't wait for the next episode, then you should head on over to patreon.com/myfirstdungeonpod and become a member of the Dice Pool. For just a few bucks a month, you'll get cast talkbacks, original games, and a full-length bonus actual play each and every month. As of the end of 2023, there is already over 20 hours of bonus audio, plus a whole bunch of other goodies to enjoy. So head on over to patreon.com/myfirstdungeonpod and jump into the Dice Pool. We'll see you there.